Welcome to the Showdown Hoedown, Monday Night Football edition. What's up, you motherfather? I'm the Degenerate 75. I'm a high-limit DFS player who is here to help you get better at playing DFS, because if you don't know, this shit be tough. I focus exclusively on football and golf. As you can see, I got the whole schedule right here. If you like the cut of my jib, come check out some of my content, right? So without further ado, let's get going. First of all, we always talk about contest selection because if you don't know, this is a game. There's basically three things you need to understand when it comes to being successful at DFS. A, quit burning money with stupid contest selection. B, understand the ownership game. And C, understand leverage, right? I think I just went from numbers to letters. What the fuck you gonna do? So, look, I talk contest selection every one of these shows. For all of you that come back, it probably gets a little repetitive, so we're going to keep this short and to the point. Today's lesson about contest selection is you're a guy, you don't love the game tonight, you want to play a lineup, and you got to fight. You want to throw a $5 lineup in. Here's what every slapdick's going to do, right? They're going to go see this big $5 flea flicker, the $100,000, and this is what they're going to go put their $5 lineup in, right? And you see $25,000 to first. You're like, oh man, I want $25,000. Well, first of all, you ain't going to win it, and second of all, just a terrible price structure. Look at 10th place, $500. That's 1/50th the first, and other people can go put 150 lineups in that. You can only put one. Whereas if you just look one more down, just look right here, you motherfather. Just look right here. Oops, clicked on the wrong thing. Just click right here below it. Boom, check out this one. Here is a $5 single entry. So now you're putting in one lineup, they're putting in one lineup, and look at that. Look at this price structure. $15,000 to first, but 10th place, now it's only 1/30th. Much more realistic, a much better price structure. Use single entries to even the playing field. Do 3 maxes to even the playing field. 20 maxes. Do not be playing in tournaments where guys can go enter 150 lineups. And by the way, those guys entering 150 lineups aren't usually dumb fucks. So they're not guys you want to be giving any more of an advantage to than they already have, right? So there's your lesson for today. Hey, speaking of contests, I got one. Instead of just giving away tickets, all you got to do is hop in this completely free contest. It's down in the details. It's for week long, so it'll be the Sunday Classic slate. If you win, you get a free $20 Millionaire Maker ticket that you get to build with John Galt, JD, and I. So hop down in the description. Hop in this tournament. It's completely free. You win a $20 ticket. Second place, free month on the Discord, you motherfather. Hey, while you're here, also like and subscribe because the channel, if you can't see, we crossed 1,700 this weekend. What the fuck is going on? I'd really appreciate it. All right, let's get to this slate. We'll be using Run the Sims. It's the best tool-assisted site out there to break down this slate. First of all, we got to start with the injury news, right? It does seem as though Mac Jones is going to play tonight. So if Mac Jones is going to play, obviously that kills the value of old Zappy, right? However, you always got to remember it's the Patriots and they're fucking weird. And Bill Belichick thinks that he's like some mega mind genius that knows shit that nobody else does. So, even with Mac Jones being their franchise quarterback, you always got to be aware that maybe, old Belichick pulls some Belichick type shit tonight. So we always got to be aware of that. Other injury news, it does appear as though Jacoby Myers is, going to play, get a full allotment. He's probably, their most appealing option. Damian Harris is definitely trending towards being back. He practiced all week, so we're going to assume he's going to play. Now, trying to figure out what his role is going to be with Ramondre. Good fucking luck with that, but we do know he's going to play. Other ones, it would appear as though who's our boy Kendrick Bourne is most likely. I would say he's probably trending towards doubtful, which obviously gives a little bit more value to people like Thornton and Parker. And then we're still waiting on word on Nelson Aguilar. He's everybody's favorite punt because Nelson either gets 0 or like 20 points. So it's like the only 2 games he's ever had in his career. So we'll have to monitor Nelson. He's the one that seems the most up in the air heading up into tonight. And, he could be a great play because he's way overpriced for how much he's going to be used. But maybe this is going to be one of those weeks he actually gets there. So we'll have to monitor that. So lots of injuries. Over on the Chicago side, not really any great injuries of news other than the fact David Montgomery is back to his full role. However, the Bears have said that they're going to go with a hot hand approach. So to think that David Montgomery is going to be a bell cow is also a bit of an assumption. So there's lots of fickle parts going on in tonight's game, and that makes it really tough to do Showdown, but at the same time, it gives us the biggest edge because essentially when there are pieces that are very flaky and you don't know what they're going to do, it's best to just pivot off of the chalk. And as you can see here, we have the ownership projections for both the flex and the captain, and we have how often they're showing up in the optimizer. This is just with the generic inputs. If you don't know the total for the game tonight, it's only 40 points, which, of course, it's a primetime game, so they're going to put 2 teams that can barely throw a forward pass out there. And you have the Patriots favored by 8.5. So that tells us a lot about what Vegas thinks this game flow is going to be like and how successful the Bears are going to be, or should I say, lack lack thereof, mother father. So as you can see right off the bat, almost all the most over-leveraged players are Patriots, right? People at Showdown tend to like to play the favorite team more. It makes sense. The favorite's usually going to score more fantasy points. So I think you're going to see a lot of 4-2 Patriots builds. Wouldn't even surprise me if you see a lot of 5-1 Patriots builds, especially bringing it back with just Justin Fields because he can do so much with his legs that 5 Patriots could get there, and then Justin Fields could be your legit only run back, and that could be the nuts lineup. Makes a lot of sense. But as you can see, players like Ramondre Stevenson and Mac Jones are way over leveraged. Devontae Parker way over leveraged, which just means that they're going to be owned at a higher percentage than they are likely to show up in the optimals. And if we're playing a game of leverage, those are guys you probably want to be less on than the field, right? Or just completely fade if you got a big old set of balls between your legs. Sorry, ladies. Okay, so let's talk about my favorite thing, and I think the best way to attack Showdown, it's scripts. Okay, it's all about picking a script, because if you are going to pick a certain script, then certain players almost automatically become X'd out off of your player pool, right? Like if you think that New England is going to boat race Chicago today, tonight, I guess I should say, then a guy like David Montgomery at 10,600 has very, very little chance of paying off in that type of game script, right? You're going to see a lot more Khalil Herbert out there as Chicago Bears are desperately passing and not running the ball at all, trying to get in from behind. Their chances for rushing touchdowns go down dramatically. His rush yards and touches go down dramatically. It's just not a good game script for David Montgomery. So if you're playing the Patriots whoop that ass script, then David Montgomery is somebody you really shouldn't even be considering, right? If you're playing the Patriots are going to whoop that ass, you shouldn't be playing the Bears defense, right? That's just not a very good script for them. So what are some scripts that could get there tonight? Well, I think the most common script is going to be that the Patriots roll, and you're going to see a lot of, I think people might even double stack the Patriots running back, Stevenson and Harris. If they're going to win this game, something like, 24-10 or something, there's a very good chance that Ramondre and Harris get there. You throw in a pass catcher, they'll probably throw in the Patriots defense, and they'll probably throw in the Patriots kicker, Nick Folk, and then you run it back with Justin Fields, because Justin Fields has a pretty safe floor, even at 10,400, just due to what he can do rushing with his legs. Maybe if you really want to get ballsy, put him as captain, run it back with 5 Patriots in the flex. That would be ballsy. So let's talk about some scripts that maybe you could play that everybody won't be playing, and that's something to consider. I think the first one is that the Bears actually have a functional offense, and you go run 4 Bears out there, right? Maybe a Justin Fields, one of the running backs, either Montgomery or Herbert, one of his pass catchers, which I think really the only viable pass catchers for him are Darnell Mooney and Cole Kmet. Because, they just don't throw it to anybody. If you want to play Pettis and St. Brown, you can. Golly, you're probably banking on them getting 4 targets at most, so they're going to have to be uber efficient in those 4 targets. You're basically going to need 3 or 4 of those to be catches, and you're going to need 50 yards, and you're going to need a touchdown, because those guys aren't exactly punts at like 5,246. Based on their production and their targets, they should probably be closer to like 2,400. But that is a way to build a lineup. So now you're running 4 Bears out there. You run it back with two Patriots. And that right there is going to have you as a build that there's no way you'll be in the 1,200 person train that hit last night, right? Just by doing that build. So that is one common build. I think another common build is maybe this game has some shootout potential. Maybe the final score is 31-28. And in a game like that, kickers and defenses become instantly less valuable. Wide receivers and quarterbacks become much more valuable. And running backs tend to not produce at the same rate wide receivers do in those scripts. So that's another one you could consider. I would say the last script, and probably the one that everybody's going to use, one that you own, if you like this script, you got to commit to it hard, is the Patriots roll. The Patriots win. The projected score would be something like 24-16 is basically what Vegas is saying the score is going to be. In a game like that, it is very likely that that one or both of the Patriots running backs get there. Mac Jones is probably in it, and then most likely you could probably run it back with Justin Fields, and their kicker would probably be a very common build tonight. So if you want to get an idea of what's going to be the chalk, that's what it's going to be. If you want to be different than the chalk, well, just know that you need to get different right there. The best captain plays, well, first of all, Ramondre Stevenson would appear to be the best captain play because he's been unbelievable. But if you want to trust the Patriots running backs with Bill Belichick, you go right on ahead. Ramondre Stevenson at $10,800 is too expensive, even if he's going to get 60% of the work. He was getting 80% of the work when Damian Harris was out, but now that he's back, I don't see any way he's going to stay at 80%. So to me, that would X him out as a captain. As you can see, he's one of the he actually is the worst leverage captain on this slate. Mac Jones coming back from injury, I think that he is probably going to be a little bit less owned than people are saying, as they're a little bit worried about it. And Mac Jones is really tough to play because anytime you play a quarterback, you want to stack him with a receiver. Well, what receiver are you going to stack him from the Patriots? And I know you're yelling at me right now, give me Jacoby Myers. But, it's the Patriots, man. They spread the ball around. I would agree that Myers is the best play, but you never know. So trying to stack Mac Jones with the right one is an interesting one. He's not a high volume guy. I would probably avoid putting him in the captain spot and have him more as a flex play. Probably the best play on the entire slate is Justin Fields. I think he's flex viable. I think he is viable in any type of script that you go with, and he's definitely viable as the captain. As you can see, the most leveraged player on this slate is Cairo Santos. The Sims seem to think that this is a game where the Bears are going to get probably 3 field goals or something like that. And in a case like that, Santos is going to get there. He'll be a great play if the Bears are moving the ball but not scoring touchdowns. Jacoby Myers at $8,200 is probably underpriced for how good his role is. He is very viable at captain. He is the number 1 receiver for the Patriots, but what does that really mean? Because the Patriots are notorious for spreading the ball around. We already talked about David Montgomery, concerns about his role with the whole hot hand bullshit that they're going with, so you got to watch out for that. Damian Harris at $8,400. Maybe you play the contrarian. Damian Harris is back. He's the lead back. He gets off to a hot start. Bill Belichick rolls with him. I think Damian Harris is a super sneaky play at the captain spot. I like him just as a contrarian play, especially if you're going to be doing those 4-2 Patriots builds. I don't think many people are going to play a 4-2 Patriots build with Damian Harris at captain. The Patriots defense seems to be a smash play. Justin Fields has turnovers. The Bears can't move, is a turnover king, and the Bears can't move the ball. But I will tell you, they'll be mega chalk. I mean, I bet they'll be 35-40%, which is kind of insane for a defense. So you only play the Patriots defense if you think they're fitting your narrative. Mooney is really the only pass catcher. Him and Kmet are the only pass catchers I'm even considering for the Bears. The thing is Justin Fields can get there just throwing it to Khalil Herbert. I mean, I guess if we want to count Khalil Herbert as a pass catcher, I'm also very interested in him. So Mooney and Herbert are probably my 2 favorite stacks with Justin Fields. A lot of times that he gets there, he's going to get at least one guy there. So I would put those with him. Maybe even run it with the kicker. If he's moving the ball, but he only gets 1 touchdown, throws it to that guy, and then they kick 4 field goals. That starts to become a nuts build right there, right? Bears defense is very sneaky, right? I know everybody thinks, the Patriots are favored. They're going to run the ball. Bears defense is bad. But, I mean, don't forget, it's also Mac Jones. It's not like he doesn't have a pick 6 in him, and it's not like the Bears can't block a punt or return a kickoff or something like that. So there's other ways to get there. Probably my favorite sneaky play for the New England is Hunter Henry. He has been very efficient. I'm going to monitor his ownership. I was hoping he was going to come in closer to 15% with that price tag. I think he's very live to break the slate tonight. However, at 26% ownership, that is kind of a deterrent. Lastly, I think the only other ones to really watch, Kendrick Bourne, we got to verify he's out. That's big news. And then Nelson Aguilar, if he plays, he's always a viable punt. Although at 5,800, is he really a punt? That's something you got to ask yourself. He can break the slate. He can also lose it for you. I don't think I'd ever play Nelson in the captain spot, but he's a tremendous flex because, he just has that one catch, 60 yards and a touchdown, and all of a sudden he gets there because no one has that, right? In a game that's probably going to be generally low scoring. If you want to pivot off of our boy Hunter Henry, go check out Jonnu Smith. He is involved. He's running about 60% of the pass routes, and he's on the field about 70% of the time. So there you go. If you want to punt, there's not that $200 guy this week that I'm looking to play. Probably the cheapest guy that I'm considering is Jonnu Smith. And if you want to know, I like to be a little bit contrarian, so I really like the either 5-1 Patriots build. Don't do a 4-2 Patriots build or a 3-3 Bears Patriots build. Those will be the two most common. If you want to get different tonight, you run a 5-1 Patriots or you run a 4-2 Bears, right? That's a way that right there you can get away from what 90% of the field is doing. Because I kid you not, 85 to 90% of the field will either build 3-3 builds, which means 3 Bears and 3 Patriots, or they will go 4 Patriots and 2 Bears. Those will be the most common builds. So just by not building that construction, it doesn't even really matter what players you play, because your build will be so much different if you're running a 5-1 Patriots to Bears or a 4-2 Bears to Patriots, or if you really want to get wild, 5-1 Bears. I can't think of 5 fucking Bears I want to put in a lineup. I'm just saying, if you're feeling froggy, I wouldn't encourage it. All right, guys, that's a breakdown of the slate tonight. Once again, just monitor those injuries. The big ones that we're monitoring is, I've already told you, it's the wide receivers for the Patriots, so do that. Hey, I'm going to be doing a special stream tonight from my Discord. If you don't know, it is very fast growing. It's connected through my Patreon. Me and John Gold, JD, do a special stream just for them, answering all their questions. It's blowing up. If you've watched the video this long, you probably like the cut of my jib. Come check it out. I also do my college football and golf content over there. We have been smashing it. Very proud of it. Love it. Here's all my patrons. If you can't tell, there's a lot of these motherfathers. Just want to give a shout out and a thank you to all of them, because I couldn't pay the editor and do all this shit without him. And lastly, if you're still watching, do me a favor, go tell a friend, because the fucking YouTube algorithm hates me and people like my content, but YouTube says we refuse to share it. So do me a favor, go share it and come follow me on Twitter. Look, I'm about to get to 5,000 people on Twitter and YouTube combined. I'm going to do a big, huge giveaway on Twitter and YouTube for getting me to 5,000 combined. I think we'll be there within a week or two, especially if you'll tell some friends, you motherfather. So do that for me. Also, remember, you can always reach out to me on Twitter. I keep the DMs open. I try to be accessible. I don't take myself as serious as a lot of these other fuckers in this industry. So reach out if you have any questions. I try to not big dog anybody. I hope you've enjoyed this show. I hope you kick some ass tonight. I hope you come check out some of my other shit. And I hope you enjoy my outro.